You know, for most of us, tax season is this dreaded thing we have to do every single year. But what you probably don't see is that behind the scenes, that whole ritual is going through a massive, silent digital revolution. And what's coming out on the other side? Well, it's going to change our relationship with the tax man forever.
I mean, just think about it for a second. What if you didn't have to hunt for all those slips and forms? What if the entire process was just seamless, automatic, maybe even invisible? Now that's not science fiction. That's the exact future that governments all over the world are racing to build right now.
And believe it or not, this whole global push actually has a name. It's called Tax Administration 3.0. It's basically a blueprint laid out by the OECD for a tax system that's built for our digital age. The goal is to make things easier and improve compliance for sure. But as we're about to see, it's also about strengthening control.
Okay, so this entire new world, it's all built on one single, absolutely critical foundation: a secure, verifiable digital ID for every single taxpayer. Think of it like the master key to the whole system. Without it, none of this works.
And this isn't some far-off concept we're talking about. It's already here. I mean, get this. A recent survey found that a staggering 98% of advanced tax agencies already require a digital ID to do your taxes online. And in most of those places, over 80% of people are actively using them. This is the new front door to the tax office. Period.
So obviously securing that digital front door is a really big deal. And yeah, of course, passwords are still pretty common, but look here, we've moved way beyond just that. Almost 70% of agencies are using multi-factor authentication. And you can see the trend. We're pushing into biometrics. Your face, your fingerprint, that's becoming the key to your tax records.
All right, once everybody has that secure ID, the game just completely changes. And this is the real heart of the transformation. Tax agencies are flipping the script. They're moving away from passively waiting for you to give them information to actively pulling it themselves from, well, pretty much everyone.
And just how widespread is this data pulling, you ask? Well, take a look at this number.
Yep, nearly 90%. That's the percentage of tax agencies that are now plugged directly into other systems. We're talking about your bank, your employer, that online marketplace where you sell stuff. They're all sending your data straight to the tax office. And a lot of the time, it's automatic, machine to machine, no human even touches it.
So where's all this info coming from? The net is incredibly wide. I mean, obviously, they're pulling from other government agencies, but they're also getting data directly from 76% of banks and insurance companies. And check this out. Almost half are even able to tap into your personal accounting software. This is how they can know what's on your tax return, sometimes even before you do. The big idea driving all of this is something governments like to call the once-only principle. It's actually pretty simple. They collect a piece of information about you just one time, say your salary from your boss, and then they reuse that same data across all sorts of different departments. For them, it's super efficient. For you, well, it's supposed to mean less paperwork. So you've got all this data, just torrents of it, flowing in from everywhere. How on earth does an agency make sense of it all? Well, this is where the real brains of the operation comes in. Artificial intelligence. It's like a digital detective, and it has two very different jobs. One is to help you, and the other is to watch you. So, what's this AI detective spending most of its time on? The data is pretty clear on this. The biggest use cases are all about enforcement. Nearly 3/4 of agencies are using it specifically to hunt for fraud, and almost 2/3 use it to figure out which of us are high risk. This is definitely the control part of the equation.
And this really gets to the two faces of tax AI. On one hand, it's here to make your life easier. It powers those chatbots that give you 24/7 help. It's the magic behind pre-filling your tax forms, which saves you a ton of time. But on the other hand, that very same system is built for control. It's automatically spotting weird inconsistencies in your data, finding undeclared income, and it can even flag you for an audit. The convenience and the oversight, they're two sides of the exact same coin.
Okay, so with an AI this powerful, you've got to be wondering, are there any guardrails? Are there any rules here? Well, this next number might actually surprise you.
Now, this is a really important piece of the puzzle. That 87%, that represents the agencies using AI that have put specific limits on what it can and can't do. And on top of that, over 80% of them require a human to review the AI's decisions to check for fairness. So yeah, the machines are incredibly powerful, but there's a clear signal that, For now, at least, a human is still supposed to be in the loop.
So when you start to put all these pieces together, the digital IDs, the massive data streams, the AI analysis, you suddenly realize the future of tax isn't some faraway idea. For millions and millions of people, it's already here.
You can see the entire roadmap for how this works right here. It all kicks off with your digital ID. That's the key. That key unlocks all the different streams of your financial data. Then the AI steps in to analyze everything. And the final step, the end game, is automated compliance, a system that pretty much ensures the rules are being followed in near real time.
Look, if you only take one thing away from all of this, let it be this. We are right in the middle of a fundamental shift in power. We are moving away from a system where you report your financial activity once a year to a system where the tax authority knows your financial activity pretty much as it happens.
And that leaves us all with a really big question. This new world of tax administration 3.0, it promises amazing convenience, real efficiency. But as that whole process becomes seamless, automatic, nearly invisible, we really have to ask ourselves, how much of our financial privacy are we willing to trade away to get that convenience? That's the big conversation we all need to start having.